Hello everybody, this is Lady Jana and welcome to my channel. I am so glad to be here. Today we're going to be doing some embroidery. It's important to learn to embroider, especially if you're now starting to learn how to crochet. Embroidery, crochet, and the basics of sewing is very important. This is an embroidery kit that I purchased from Dollarama, and I do know for a fact it is beginner friendly. If you don't know how to embroider, go to Dollarama store, find this embroidery kit or any others like this because there's a lot more. I've done a kit in the past. I'll link it down below in the description. So without further ado, let's look into this kit. This embroidery kit I purchased at Dollarama for $4, and let me just show you how beautiful this looks. We're going to open it and we're going to make sure everything is included. You can actually see just from the back, everything is included. And if I'm not mistaken, we should also have a great guide explaining to us all the stitches that we need to make and how to make them. Okay, so we do have our thread. We've got several colors. We've got our needle, and then we've got our hoop. I love these hoops. These are plastic, they're not wood. And what I do use them for is a frame. And then we've got our material. This is the first time it looks like, oh, it looks like a mesh material. I've never used this kind of material before, but we will learn, we will test it. And this is our pattern. We have our color chart. There's 3 colors, so it's green, white, and also yellow. Why this is beginner friendly? First of all, there's only 3 colors, which makes it easy. And secondly, there's not a lot of stitches, only the basic stitches. And if we look at the back, here is all the explanation, and there's pictures and written information. We've got our French knots, our stem stitch, our leaf stitch, and lazy daisy stitch. This is perfect for everybody to learn. Place this into my loop. I'm pretty sure everybody knows how to do this. The pattern does ask me to use only 3 strands. I have removed 3 strands out of the 6. The yellow color are French knots. As I finish the center of a flower, I'll have to cut my yarn. The canvas is mesh. It is see-through, so I cannot travel with my yarn. I have to stay within the yarn color. You move up 1 like this, and then you pull on your yarn. You go around the needle, then down this next to where you pulled it. Keep in tension on this piece as you pull through. Keep that tension until you completely pull through. And there's your French knot. And take your time when you do this. There's absolutely no rush whatsoever. I found that when you do your crochet work, sometimes you need to use French knots. You need to do them. So if you learn them, if you know how to do it, then you won't have any issues. And there we go. Okay, that's not a perfect knot, but that's fine. Oops, don't pull. Very important to be delicate. Don't pull anything. And it doesn't really matter if your French knots are different sizes. It's actually nice with using different sizes. If you're thinking about doing amigurumi crochet work, you will definitely see French knots in the pattern. And this is one way to learn how to do them. And a flower is not always perfectly round in the middle. If yours is not, that's okay. And this is like a practice round. This is something you practice. So the more that I do, the better I'm going to get. I think I'm almost done with my center. Yes, I don't see any more spaces. I'll have to cut my yarn. The first thing before I do is I'm going to thread my yarn through the work on the back. I'm going to cut these extras, but I will not be traveling here because this will show. Unless you decide to travel like this where that's going to be hard. So I'm going to cut and I'm going to do all of the others. Centers. Once I'm done the rest of the centers, I'll come back and we will do the rest of the white flowers. So don't go away. I'll be right back to show you what I've done.
And look how beautiful this is getting. I am so happy about this. The only thing is you need to be careful because of the material, because of the mesh. I did create a hole. I think it's this one here, so I had to fix it. The way that I fixed it is I did my flowers around a hole to close it, so you gotta be careful. Now the next thing that I want to do, I'm going to show you, it's going to be these petals. To do the petals, you need these 6 strands of thread, so you need the whole thread. You don't separate the thread at all. It does show you how the petals are made. It's called a daisy stitch, and you follow these instructions to do it. We're going to start with this flower, the same flower we started before. We have to go close to the flower, bring up your thread, then you go down next to it. And then you have to be careful to leave a loop. Like this. Now you go up where your line is, or a little bit longer, that's fine. And then you pull slowly, like this. And voila, there's your petal. Then you go down on this side. Oh, look how beautiful that is. Perfect. Okay, let's try that again. So you pull up close to your flower. You go down next to it, but make sure to leave a hole, or to leave some material in between. Oh, don't forget to leave a little hole like this. And then you come up right here and you pull slowly. And there you go. The only thing I believe that I'm not doing right, or you see this, the thread on the back, I'll have to push it like this. You go down and voila. And now we're ready for our next petal. So let's start right here. And also make sure there are absolutely no knots. And then go next, right next to it, very, very close. And then we're going to go up. Let's see, looks like it's this one here. And you have to, in the loop. And then you pull carefully. And then back down, right here. And there you go. So this is how you do the whole thing.
I did get a little ahead, like you can see. I've completed all the white around the flowers, and I've started the green leaves. I just left one undone so I can show you how I do the leaves. But if you look at the instructions, the leaf instructions is there. It's called a leaf stitch. Like anything else, you need practice, a lot of practice. Always start at the base, and how you work it is you work like a V. So I do a V on one side, like so, and then I start on the bottom again, and I create my V until I reach the top. So let's start. And again, this is hard because it's see-through, and also because the camera is right in front of my face. Yeah, you can imagine.
Okay. Okay, so I like that. And I'm going to be following the middle line the best that I can. And I'm going to try not to leave space. If there is space, I will just fill it up. And I did undo quite often, especially when I started the leaves. Either the view was not done properly, not on the right side, and so forth. So there's nothing shameful of restarting. And for you advanced people out there, if you see me doing mistakes, please let me know, because I am a beginner at embroidery myself. And there's no shame of being a beginner. And that's how you learn. You've got to start somewhere. So this leaf is, I'm not too sure how this one is going to turn out, because it's not like, the shape is a little bit different. So I'll do my best.
And there we go. That is my leaf. I hope that you like it. The next step is to do the stems. What I did not mention is that the leaves, they use all 6 strands, and the stem will also use all 6. The stem stitch is a little bit tricky because each one of your stitch has to be the same length, but that is, again, takes practice. I'm going to show you. I start from this side of the black, and then I go down the other side, then I bring my needle back up in the middle of the stitch I just made, and then I go down. Okay, it looks like my stitches are not long enough and they're not the same size, so I'll have to figure out what size I like. So this is why we're doing this. We're practicing this. And down, up again. That is not good. Let's undo. My stitches are really not the same size, and I think they're a little bit too short. My intention is to undo what I just did, take my time, redo them all, and then I will show you the results. I finished my embroidery. The stem stitch that I did, that I showed you before, was not quite the right technique. I had to look it up because I realized that the instructions that we have here are very vague. It's not very good. So I did a little research and I was able to find the right technique. I'm glad that this is the only embroidery kit that uses this mesh material. The rest of the materials that I have, because I do have several other kits, use a different material. Let me just show you. This was done when I first got these kits, and I love this material way better. And I find that the instruction that was included in this kit much better. So that kit, I do have 2 more to do, which is this one and this one. This I will do in the future. If you would like for me to do videos about beginner embroidery stitches, I can do so. You can leave a comment in the comment section. Since I'm going to keep this in my hoop, I'm going to use this as a frame. I'm going to cut the material around,
and I will just leave it as is. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Have yourself a great day. Take care. See you in the next video.